verse number 7 down to, you don't have to stand, the first 5 verses. James chapter number 5, read verse 7, probably down to maybe verse 10, 11, something like that. Verse 7 to 10 or 11. And we're going to talk tonight about patience and endurance. If you want to write them down, let's talk about patience and endurance. And I'm going to ask you first of all a question. When you hear the word patience, what comes to mind? You hear the word patience. What comes to your mind? You hear that one word. First, when we think about it, when you hear the word patience, what comes to mind? You hear patience. I said, what? I said, wait. We wait as the W-A-I-T, not the W-E-I-T. W-A-I-T, wait. Okay. Anybody else? Long suffering, wait, long suffering. Anybody else? You get patience, patience. Read the word. Perseverance. Perseverance is all good. It's all good. Patient, patient. Anybody else? Patient, patient. Patient. Don't think about this. Just go there. Just go there. Patient. Okay. Those are good. Endurance. Long suffering. Waiting. Because patience, let me tell you what the Webster dictionary say. Let me tell you what the dictionary say. And all those good said. But it says here, enduring pains or trials calmly or without complaint. I like the definition. I'm reading it again. It says, enduring pains or trials calmly without complaint. Think about that for a moment. Enduring pains or trials calmly without complaint. I wanted to read that definition. Basically, you're thinking about long suffering. Wait. Because you have to wait is a part of it. And that's part of the study tonight. Wait is a part of it. Because the study tonight is going to talk about a husband, a farmer. How when he plants the seeds in the ground, he has to do what? Wait. He plants the seed in the ground, and then once he does that, he has to stay away from that. Once the seed is planted, it's been planted, right? So you don't have to go out there every day to plant the same seeds, or even different seeds. Once you plant the seeds, he does what? He has to wait. And it's over. If that seed is a cotton seed, a watermelon seed, or fruit seed, or corn seed, whatever the seed is, you don't have that thing yet. He has to seed up. So he puts it in the ground and he does what? He waits. What is he waiting for? Once a year, he waits for the growth. What's the first thing he waiting for? He waiting for what? The former rain. You get it. Yeah. He's waiting for the rain. Waiting for the rain. Because I can put the seed in the ground here. If I don't get no rain or no water, I'm waiting for, so he's waiting for something. He's waiting for what? The former rain. I missed it. Because there's two kinds of rain, right? The former rain, so he right now, when he's planting, he's waiting for what? The former rain. What's the former? What is the purpose of the former rain? What's the purpose of the former rain? Purpose. Go ahead. And and to help germinate what? The seed. To make the seed grow. That's the purpose of the formal rain. To make what? Make the seed to grow. Okay? Okay? Now after the seed begins to grow, after it gets the formal rain, the first rain, and it begins to do what? To grow. Then the rain might stop. But since the seed has received the rain, it's going to do what? Grow. That's what it is, good rain. It don't have to continue to rain. Because the ground knows how to hold the water to keep the seed nourished. So it don't have to continue to rain. The former rain does its job by going in the ground. And that ground, that water right there, it knows how to get that seed. But it don't need constant water. I've never heard that it can be too much water. I've never heard that. But sometimes farmers will lose crop because it rains too much. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's got to be a break in the rain. That's why the Bible speaks of former rain and latter rain. There's got to be a break in the rain. It can't be that continuing. That might not be good for it. Because see, something has to happen between the former rain and the latter rain. Because if the sun don't shine, then guess what? You're not going to be able to grow. My wife tells me sometimes when I took question, she said, okay, it's a lot more ready now. It's a lot more ready. Because it's raining. And the rain comes, what comes after that? The sun. And they work together. And guess what? Somehow the grass just loves it. When it rains and the sun gets it. Cause it to do what? But in between the former rain and the latter rain, as it's growing, it's going to have to go through some trials. Right? Bugs. Different things going to happen to that plant. Because now it's got the former rain, now it's coming to it. But then after it's got the former rain, and now it's coming up. But now, once it comes up, you're going to have to endure because the things going to happen to it. Right? The sun can get on while it gets scorching. That's good. It can get infected with bugs and damages. Animals, deer, whatever, they can come along and they can do what? They can eat it. So all that can happen after it start what? After it start growing. So in order for it to give fruit, it's got to be able to do what? To endure. Because if it don't endure any of that, and I'm saying because even in life, you know, we're going through what things going to come against us. But in order to get the real fruit, we got to do what? We got to endure. We got to endure. That means we got to stay in the race. You can't just drop out the race, you got to stay in the race. Because everybody, each one of us, once we start growing, sometimes the trouble don't start until you start growing. If you ain't growing, sometimes you don't have no trouble until you start growing. But then, so that's a period. It's a period between the time you grow and the time of fruition. We haven't gotten to the time of fruition yet. So right now, we're all facing battles in life right now. All of us. All of us. The devil's sending bugs in our life. Sometimes the sun is trying to scorch us in our life. But we're going to have to do what? If we want the rain is not given to what? The Spirit. Fact. Nor the battle to what? The strong. Who will win though? To him that what? Endureth. To the end. So and you say after the storm, I think I don't know if it was only the strong was do what? Was survive. Was survive. So in the midst of the former rain And the latter rain, there will be some times that will test our patience. Your patience will be tested. Oh yes, your patience will be tested. And sometimes your patience will be tested so much, you're going to want to throw in the flag and just give up. But God don't want you to do that. He wants you to do what? To endure, to hold on and to endure, to endure. So let's go into the 7th verse of the 5th chapter of James. It says what? Be patient, therefore. Now, if you read all the verses before that, it tells you all stuff that's happening to them, and everything that's happening. But in the midst of everything that's happening, you got to do what? You got to be patient. When life comes thrown at you, you got to be patient. And somebody says, well, I don't feel like being patient. Feel like being patient. And sometimes we want to fight our own battles. But now, I don't know if y'all wrote down that definition I gave y'all. I'm going to read it one more time. And you really might want to just kind of write it down. I don't know if you can remember it real good. But it says, patience is enduring pains or trials. How? Calmly. Have you ever faced a situation that tested your calmness? Have you ever faced a situation that really tested your calmness? When you really wanted to react, but you knew that the reaction might cause more problems than just being patient and calm. So therefore, and that's why you have to have some type of something in you, some calm, some pain on the inside, and what if I want to react? I mean, sometimes reaction is not the best move. Not the best move, reaction. But so it says here, enduring pains or trials, how calmly, not just that, but calmly and what? Or without what? Complaints. Without complaints. It's easy to complain. I already know that. It's easy to complain. I heard somebody the other night. As a matter of fact, it was Pastor Jackson was talking to me. I heard him talking about this. I was traveling on the road the other night. He was talking about if people complain about everything. People complain about everything. If it's too hot, they complain. If it's too cold, they complain. If it rains too much, they complain. If they don't get enough rain, they complain. In the church, if it's too hot in church, they complain. If it's too cold, they complain. If church too long, they complain. I ain't heard complain about church too short yet. I heard that one yet. I heard a complain about that one. But if it's too long, they complain. But see, it's in the nature of man to what? To complain. The children of Israel, when God was setting them free from Egypt, what they did? And they got out of it, and they said, God, why you bring us over here to do what? Get out! waiting the whole time. I wouldn't say y'all be general. And sometimes we will bear them while they complain. But God said, He said, but verse 7 says what? Be patient. Therefore, be patient. Be patient. Be calm. Don't complain. Okay? Brethren, unto what? Unto the coming of the Lord. Be patient. God come back. He coming back. Be patient until He comes back. That means that we shouldn't be complaining. But what we should do is to replace our complaining with praying. You can do that, right? You can, because if you don't have enough money to pay all the money, just pray God's money. So we can replace our complaining with what? Praying. Which means that you really end up doing what? Praying more. Amen. And you end up praying more. Be patient, therefore, brother, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman, I got a lot of verses, so I got to speed up. Behold, the husbandman, the farmer, the husbandman, waiting for the what? The precious fruit of the earth. And he had what? He had what? So really, once he planted that seed, he's now dependent on what? The former rain, which is the what? That rain that comes to do what? To help germinate that seed. So he waiting on that to come. So he's out the picture now. I ain't worried about that because that's on somebody else. And what is teaching us that while worrying about stuff that's on somebody else? Amen. I can't control the rain. So the farmer got no sense to know that I planted the seed. I got to go home now. I've done my job. That's how I'm praying, right? When I plant the seed, I've been praying and said, Lord, it's on you now. So now I've asked you to heal, now it's on you. I've asked you to deliver, God, now it's on you. I ain't worried about it no more, God. I've given it to you. I've planted the seed. Now you bring the water. You bring it. You bring it. So therefore, I'm taking myself out the pictures from there. I'm not there no more. I'm praying for it. I'm taking the seed. I'm out there. Wait for the former man. Germinate that seed. But that former rain germinates that seed to start growing. But see, one thing about it, once it starts growing, the seed is safe in the ground. It's only going to face the problems once it starts growing. And look, the baby that's in your womb, be all right until they come out. In most cases, they're all right. I know there's certain instances where the baby needs to come out because they have some problem, but in most cases, the baby he's safe in the womb. And they don't really face the problem until they come out. When they're born, they're going to face some difficult times. They don't ask them about somebody, they're going to face some difficult times. But that's the time between the former rain and the latter rain. It says here in verse 7, be patient therefore, brother, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman, he is what? He waiting for the what? The precious fruit of the earth. Oh, that precious word means valuable fruit of the earth. And he has what? Long patience for it until he received the early or the former rain, the early and the what? And the latter rain. Look at verse 8. Go say move back verse 7. Let's go to verse 8 because time is getting on. Oh my goodness. 7 6 already. But it says here, be ye, look at verse 8. Be ye what? No, y'all miss a word. y'all miss a word. word. Y'all miss a very important word. Be ye what? Also. Y'all also. Be ye what? Also. So what does that mean? That means just as the farmer is patient, you got to be the same way. Also, likewise, just as the farmer is waiting for those fruits, that means that you got to wait also. That's something. That means that trials and tribulations are going to come in your life, but you got to still be patient. That means that you have to think, when things come your way, take them calmly. Well, and you know, I had to learn this thing. Because we have to learn how to deal with situations how calmly. Because sometimes, y'all, you will face some things that make you want to just go off. Oh, y'all done been there. Everybody done been there. When somebody has said something, somebody has done something that just makes you want to just, I used to say, just press your button. Maybe you want to just go cold. Don't raise your hand, y'all. Don't raise your hand. Y'all done been there. But somebody let's say that one thing make you want to do what? But see, God wants, sometimes these things come to test your what? Test your what? Your patience. Sometimes God will send things in your life just to do what? To test your what? Your patience. Because then, once you test your patience, now God knows what to do. See, it's almost a test. The Bible says there has no temptation taking you, but such come. But then he's like, but he will with the temptation. He will, along with the temptation, make a way for you to do what? Make a way for you to do. So therefore, temptation will come, but God will give you what? A way out. So therefore, you can remain calm if you want to. But somehow, we may not want to be calm. Because we feel that the best response will be to go off. Even when you don't like something, y'all. It's hard. Even when you know you don't like something, it's not what you say. It is what? How. Yeah, it's good or both. But it's how you say it. And even if it's said wrong, we have to learn how to be patient. But see, that thing's on the inside, y'all. Are you hearing me? That's on the inside of us. See, so and everybody react what differently. Yeah. We all react differently because we all have a different level of patience. That's why we have to work on what? Our patience. Because we all have a different level of what? Of patience. Some of y'all can handle stuff that somebody else just can't handle. Y'all please forgive me. Can y'all give me a few more minutes here? I'm not getting all these words. But look at verse number 8. Be ye also what? And then what does I say? Establish. What does the word establish mean? Huh? What? Strengthen. But you know what? In in the math established, it kind of holds like a concrete kind of thing. Something that's going to be, it's going to be, you put it down, and it gets harder. It gets established. It gets strengthened. That means that it may not be strong right now, but guess what? It's getting stronger. When you put concrete down, guess what? It may not be strong right now, but if you read right there, if you don't bother it, even if you bother it, it getting what? It getting stronger right now. And see, that's how God said, our hearts need to be like that. It needs to get what? More established. More what? More strengthened. Because, Brother Kevin, listen, the harder it is, the stronger it is, then the more patient we become. Why? Because see, now I'm not leaning upon my own understanding. Now my heart got me into with God. So even when things don't go my way, and believe me, I'll tell you right now, everything in life is not going to go your way. Your job, your church, family, everything in life is not going to go your way. So now God said, well, what happens if it don't go my way? I know we still say my way or the highway. It's my way. And sometimes people think, well, everybody else, the Bible says, every man is right in his own sight. Every man is right in his own sight. I mean, I see myself and right. But the thing about everybody else, they see themselves right. The Bible says there's a way that seems right unto a man. But the end thereof, way to death. Be ye also patient. Establish your hearts. For the coming of the Lord, but draweth nigh. I'm going fast now. Grudge not. Look at verse 9, y'all. Grudge not one against another. Then I went to my little. Thank you. Then I went to my little dictionary again. I looked at it. Let me just see what it says. It says to be unwilling to give or admit, to give or allow reluctantly or resentfully, a feeling of deep-seated resentment of evil. A feeling of deep-seated resentment of evil. Feeling of deep-seated resentment or ill will. I think Pastor hit on Sunday a little bit. If you're around people that when you see them, you get a feeling. You get a feeling. When you see them, you get a feeling. You run to me, something come across. You hit on this little bit Sunday. Something come over you. Have you seen somebody and something comes over you, that negative feeling, that ill, that resentment. See, sometimes people resent you and don't know really why they resent you. Why they resent you? But what we're saying here is that life is too short, y'all. It's too short. And look what it says. I don't have time. But it says, grudge not what? One against another. Now, what does this have to do with the former and the latter and the being patient? Because what it's saying is that even when things don't happen your way, don't feel no kind of way about that. Because your focus needs to be on who, not them, but who? On him. And sometimes our focus sometimes gets off. And we'll focus on a situation that's really bringing us down, and God says, you need to focus on it. Y'all know what happened to Peter? When Peter was on that ship, on that boat, and he said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me to do what? To come. What did you say? He said, no. He said, no. What did Peter do, y'all? What did Peter do? He said, I boat, didn't he? And what did he do when he said about the boat? He started doing what? Walking on the way. Walking on the water. Oh, he was walking on the water, right? But what happened? Can you tell me what happened after that? No, but before we took it out, what happened then? There you go. There you go. There you go. The Bible said the wind became what? Became boisterous. The wind was blowing real hard, right? What it was trying to distract him from his work, his focus. It was trying to distract him from his focus. Right there. It was trying, because the wind representing the enemy knew that he had his eyes on Jesus. So what it was doing now, trying to distract him from his focus and say, well, you ain't focused good enough on Jesus. I'm going to bring some wind that will be boisterous and to see if you really as focused as you think you are. So as long as he was walking on the water, he would find that little wind started becoming boisterous. The Bible said that Peter, what? He took his eyes off Jesus and he started looking at the wind. And I often said, I was saying that if he had not looked at the wind, he still would have been walking. And guess what else would have happened? The wind still would have been blowing. So when you're focused on Jesus, that don't mean there's no trouble around you. That just means that the trouble is not affecting you because you are focused on who? On him. Oh, I want y'all to catch that. I want y'all to catch that part right there. That don't mean that life is easy. That don't mean that trouble is not around me. It don't mean that people are not lying on you. It don't mean that people are not bringing confusion. It don't mean none of that. All it means that I'm not focused on them. I'm focused on him. That's all that means. It don't mean I'm not concerned. It don't mean I don't care. It just means I'm focused. I'm so concerned about my soul that I'm focused on Jesus. And I don't have time for none of this. I don't have time for it. I'm talking about me now. I'm feeling passionate about me. I don't have time for foolishness. I don't have time to be distracted. I know the winds are blowing. I ain't looking at them. I know that they're both, but I don't have time for that because I'm focused on him. So when Peter started walking on the water and the wind, he started looking at the wind. What happened to Peter, y'all? The Bible said he did what? He began to do what? He started stinking. And Jesus was trying to tell him that if you take your eyes off me, that the cares of the world are going to destroy you. So, if you don't keep all the stuff that's happening in the world, it's going to happen. I'm telling you, in this world you shall have tribulation. That's the greatest he that's in me. He ain't in the world. Grudge not. Look at it. Verse 9. Grudge not. I got to stop you. Grudge not one against what? Another. The devil can get you to have resentment against each other. He already won. He already won. He already won. You know what? You know how homes are destroyed? Resentment. You know how families are destroyed? Resentment. I don't like you. You don't like me. So guess what? We ain't got to use each other. So now what? Now it's broken. You know how church is destroyed? You see? You see? So that's that grudge. That's that resentment. That's that thing here. So it says here, be ye also in verse 9. Grudge not one against another. And then how am I going to look at it? It says, brethren, lest ye be what? Condemned. That means what? Destroyed. So if you are resenting, then you're the one going to be destroyed. Am I time to stop you? Did you go on? So, brethren, lest ye be condemned. And I'm going to stop this verse right here. I'm going to stop right here because 10 going to take me someplace else, y'all. Verse 10 going to take me someplace else. Stop at verse 9. Grudge not one against another. Brethren, lest ye be what? Condemned. That says what? Behold, the judge standing. God right there. The judge. You ready to judge him. If you go into the area, you should. There again. The judge do what? Because you're going into an area where you should. See, sometimes you go before a judge, it helps you. Make you don't want to do what it is. And so I don't think this is a bad judgment here, but I think the judge is standing here for you. He said, if you are in this, look at the history of the door. Not to see the person, not to tell you, I'm going to remind you that you want to stay here. Look, come on. I'm at the point of my life that I'm going to go. My wife won't act like I said 7 years old, but she won't be get the real age. I'm sitting here talking. What I am. I'm saying something. Don't be calling my nose out. I'm 60-something years old, man. And I'm grateful for my 60-something years. But one thing about one thing about it right now, is in my 60-something years, you know what? My wife living now. They do it. I put a post out last week, and I try to do that every day. You know, God things that we can do. And in the post I said this. It says, He is my strength. God, He being God. He is my strength. So if you choose to fight me, I will not be. Mm-hmm. I'm going to fight. God has not given me the spirit of patience. God gives me the spirit of patience to do what? I'm going to fight this now. God told you, I told you both that. God said, you need not fight in this battle. He said, you need not fight in this battle. In this battle. You need not fight in this battle. So we have to understand that God will fight your battles. God said, look, recompense. Vengeance is mine. Vengeance. So God will fight for us. And I'm learning. As I'm getting a little bit older, I'm learning that God wants to fight for us. You say back there, right? That's a lie. Because we make a mess of each other. I said we, I'm talking about me and everybody else. We make a mess of it. I said, vengeance is mine. I will do what? I will repay. So, we might go back again. But patience. Patience. Y'all be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. I'm over tonight. Be patient with me. I'm over tonight. Be patient with me too. Okay, don't get mad. Yeah, I'm almost done now. Me too. I'm almost done. Brother, read the room. I can't see the room, and I can't see the room. But we thank God. We thank God tonight for the witness. And for the Lord, okay? And y'all take right now and practice patience. Work on your patience. Because we all need help. I need help. I need help. I come a long way. I used to be the most impatient person that I know. And I still got some problem. I'm working with patience. I'm working with help. How many of y'all need help with your patience? Raise your hand. You need help. You just need help with your patience. With your patience. And God can help us, y'all, with patience. So, and once God helps you with patience, once you get with patience, you won't complain. Kind of what the more patient you get, the less you complain. Oh yeah, you gotta get that. Right at that. The more patient you become,